So today we are continuing with more speaking, and right, we have here speaking assessment C from June 2024. This is paper 3 variant 1. I'm not sharing screen with you guys because that's how the assessment is supposed to be. Ima, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so right, the examiner will say, first we will start with a short warm-up where I will ask you some questions to find out more about you. This part is not assessed. After the warm-up, there are three assessed parts to the test: an interview, a short talk, and a discussion. Okay, so let's get started. Ima, how do you get to school every morning?
Every morning I get to school by either walking or either by doing cycling. This usually depends on what I'm feeling. Sometimes actually my mom also drops me, but it also depends on what she is doing at the morning. Sometimes when I woke up early for school and I'm in like mood for walking, I would go for a walk to school because again the distance from my home to my school isn't that much. It will probably take me 10 minutes to walk. To cycle, it will take me maximum 5 minutes. I do both, but what I usually like to do is cycling since it's also good for my physique and also recommended by my PT teacher.
Okay, now I'll just pause the timer on that. Uh, your response overall was fine, but you are making grammatical errors in forming your sentences. For example, right, sometimes I do walking, I think that's what you said, uh, or go by walking, and then you said sometimes I do cycling, and that's not how you want to phrase it. So you want to say that sometimes I walk to school and sometimes I go by bike, or sometimes I cycle. You're just saying sometimes I cycle. The context is there that you're talking about going to school. So sometimes you cycle to school. It really depends on what I'm in the mood for that particular morning. Okay. And
Okay?
then, right, there were some other points which I failed to note down because I was like writing while you were speaking. So you can obviously go back and listen to yourself and
So,
obviously,
sir, should I go slow so you can also write down the points?
no, you do that on your own, right? So you maintain your pace because I'm timing you as well. Okay, so if you're
Alright.
going slow for me, that's not going to help your response. So that's on me. I try to pick up as many things as possible, and that is why actually your speaking assessment is recorded, right? So they don't give you a grade right then and there. They record it, and the examiner then sits down later, listens to it again. They might re-listen to it more than once and make sure what you said, and then grade you accordingly, right? So that goes for me as well. So right now I'm just suggesting stuff to you, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so you can go back and listen to this particular recording and again, right? So by the way, Afan has got an email for his test date, right? His test date is on the 17th of April for the speaking.
But, sir, I haven't received it yet. I'm checking every day.
Yeah, so just stay on that. Okay?
Oh,
Just stay on that because
17.
yeah, so you're in zone 3. You might receive it, sometime in the coming days, hopefully inshallah. But just keep checking and start practicing. I mean, why would you
Oh,
start
sir,
practicing?
also, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just remembered that I wanted to ask something. So, will like the examiner share the timer with me?
No.
Like, no. Oh my God.
Again, so you don't have to worry about that. Your focus should be on giving a complete response.
Okay, so like if I make my response a big response, will he stop me?
Yes.
Or like eye me down or like, give me a signal,
No, no. So they'll stop you. And again, I mentioned this so many times before. Stopping you does not mean you've made a mistake, right? Stopping you means that they need to move on to the next question. Time is up for this part. Okay?
Alright, sir.
So if they stop you, don't get anxious like, oh my God, they stopped me, something's wrong. No, nothing's wrong. So you just focus on your responses. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. So continuing with the warm up. Aima, what is your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is cycling. I really like it. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, continue.
Okay. So my favorite sport is cycling. I like it because what I believe that it really supports or it like really helps me in my physique because there are other sports as well, but for cycling I think since I get to move both of my legs and simultaneously at the same time, and they also help me to travel from one place to another, unlike other sports, for example basketball or football. I'm not saying that they are useless sports, but they are not necessarily those sports which really help me to cover anything, like to cover distance. But for cycling it helps me to cover my distance, also it helps me in my legs, in the movement of my legs.
Okay. Now, since I'm giving you feedback, again, I've stopped the timer. We're out of time for this warm up anyway.
Oh,
So yeah, uh, right. Uh,
okay.
like your legs move a lot during football as well, during basketball as well. Most sports, I guess, use legs more or less, right? So just saying that that's an advantage. I mean, again, right? So the reason I'm picking this out, it's not that your answer needs to be factually correct. It's the development of your response, right? So just saying that it is because cycling helps me to move my legs, that's a great point of development because so does football. So what you could say that, cycling focuses more on the legs and that's something I want to do, right? I want to strengthen my leg muscles or whatever. And it also serves as a utility, as a form, as a mode of transport for me. So other sports are simply sports, whereas cycling is not only a sport, but it also gets me from one place to another, which is an added benefit. So that is the appeal for me of cycling as a sport. Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Continuing now, right? The first assess part of the test is an interview. I'm going to ask you some questions about being helpful. Try to say as much as you can for each question. Before we start, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, Aima, how do you help your parents at home?
I help my parents at home by taking over tiny responsibilities that are, uh, wait, what is the word? That are according to my age. Like, for example, washing the dishes, cleaning my room, which is like the basic responsibility. And I don't think so. This is basically helping your parents because this is something each and every person should do. But it's also helping my parents. That's why I'm including this in my response. That I help my parents by cleaning my room, by cleaning the dishes after dinner. I help them by taking over the trash. I help them by maybe picking or making a list of grocery items that they mostly forget because they are too busy in their works. So I help them in very tiny aspects that I'm not sure that they even noticed. But yeah,
Yeah, so how much time are we so 2 to 3 minutes? You've taken 1 minute for that response. Okay. Now, uh, you're looking for a word to say according to my age, and the word is age appropriate.
yes, yes, exactly appropriate. Oh my gosh, I forgot that. That
Okay.
wasn't coming in my mind.
Right. Then, right. cleaning your room and cleaning the dishes. For dishes, you would want to say washing the dishes, not cleaning,
Washing the dishes, yes.
right? Then you said taking over the trash. So I'm pretty sure you don't want to take over the trash. You want to
No,
take it
no, no.
out.
Taking the trash out, yes.
Yes, taking out the trash, not taking over it. You're going to be like, this bag of garbage
No,
is now
no,
mine.
no.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's not what you meant. Okay, you said work. You don't want to use the plural over there, the way you constructed your sentence. And tiny responsibilities, you could say basic responsibilities,
Yeah, basic responsibilities, etc.
right? Instead of saying tiny. Okay, so that was feedback for that response. Let's continue. Can you tell me about a time when someone helped you and what happened?
When I got to my new school, basically I joined in the school in the middle of the year, so I was lacking behind a lot of work. So there were a lot of, like, I had a lot of classmates, but there was one girl named Aisha. She really helped me by catching up. She taught me each and every topic that they learned in school previously when I wasn't there. So she also gave me her notes, she also gave me her homeworks, and that really helped me to catch up. And that, I think, saved me a month, which I could have spent in catching up. So she really helped me with that. And I was so grateful to her.
Okay, feedback for this. Uh, she helped me by catching up. It's not, you wouldn't want to say by catching up because she's not the one catching up, you are. So she helped me to catch up,
Okay.
right? Again, you said homeworks. It's not a plural, right?
Oh, that's fine.
So she shared her notes and her homework with me, right? And which could have taken me, I think you want to say which would have taken me a month, at least if I were doing it on my own, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's continue. Aima, do you think everyone should do something to help their local community? Why or why not?
Yes, I think that each and every person should help to do uh, to help each and every person in their community. Why is that? Because helping is, I think, the basic human act which can be presented to another human as a blessing, or like as a nice act, or as a humble act. And I think helping each other can also bond new relations, new friendship, and it can also make your image clear to another person who doesn't know you. So helping is a very nice and fresh startup to any relation.
Thank you for your response. Now, what I just said is how the examiner, well, one of the ways the examiner will stop you. All right, they're going to be polite about it. They're like, no, just stop. Time's up. They're not going to do that. Okay. So, okay. Now we
Sir,
are,
okay, let's complete this. Then I have a question.
okay. So, the second assessed part of the test is a short talk. I will give you a card and you have 1 minute to, what should I call it? Think about what you want to say. So you need to think about it. No writing notes, Ima, even now,
Okay.
because if you're going to make notes on paper now, you're going to get into a habit of it. And during the exam, we will not be allowed any pen or paper.
Okay, sir.
So practice according to the assessment requirements. Okay, so you should talk about the points on the card. You can't make any written notes, but you can ask me if there's anything that you do not understand. You may keep the card till the end of the short talk. Here is your card. So let me just put that on screen for you. Can you see this?
Wait a second. Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so I'm going to read it for you. The examiner will not read it for you. You're going to read it on your own, but I'm still reading it for you. A holiday abroad. You and your family are planning a holiday abroad and are considering the following options: a weekend in a capital city, a week long stay in a national park. Okay, talk about the advantages and disadvantages of each option. You need to cover both of those, right? Then,
All right.
or somewhere in between, say which option you would prefer and why. So you have 1 minute to think about this. I'm timing you for 1 minute, Aima, and then we'll, get back to this. Your time,
All right.
your 1 minute starts now.
All right.
All right, Aima, your 1 minute is up. Are you ready?
Oh, I wasn't ready.
Well, you have to be.
Okay, so sir, I think that living in spending weekend in both the parks would be very exciting. But what I think most exciting could be living in, I mean, spending the weekend in week long stay in national parks because if we go to weekend in city, like if we go to city park, we actually go there each and every weekend, and it's not something very extraordinary or very super exciting because again it's present in our capital city, so it's not a fascinating experience or like a different experience. But going to a week long city national park is more exciting to me as it's far away. Also, it's national, so it's pretty nice. So this is my response. Oh my gosh, it's so bad, but
Yes, you are clearly struggling, and you also confuse the options. You're saying like going to a city park. Where in the question does it mention city park?
wait, let's see. A weekend in a capital city. Capital city? Oh my god, where is city park?
Yeah, so you said that you live in like some other city, not in Riyadh, right?
Yeah,
So that's
I
like
don't know.
you visiting Riyadh for the weekend.
Yeah, it's like that. But oh my god, I got panicked because I
Yes,
didn't understand the question at first.
yes. So that, right, and that only happened because I was timing you. So you have that time effect pressure on you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I do.
so that is something that, again, we only have so many classes, right? The I mean, one thing we can do maybe is just focus on speaking for the time being.
Yes, please. Speaking and listening.
Listening as well, you don't need help with listening. You're just
Oh,
anxious.
sir, I don't know what happens to me whenever there is a
you're
timer.
you're you're
I
you're
don't know, or
you're,
whenever
you're
we're
you're
doing it.
just anxious. You don't need help with listening. Okay, you need to overcome your exam anxiety.
Yes, sir. It's in me
That's
since
what
my
you
birth.
yeah, that's what you need to do. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm
I,
actually, yeah, I'm not going to do listening anymore because when you're doing it in class with me, you get like near perfect scores. So yeah, we're not doing that. The problem that you're facing is something you need to overcome on your own. Okay,
okay.
now
Yes, okay.
what's left is writing, right? What do we do about
Yes.
writing? I
Sir,
mean,
actually, I noticed I was doing some past papers and I noticed that like my speed of writing is low. Is very slow, but what I do, like catching the answers from the paragraph, I'm fast at it.
mhm.
But writing is speed is low. So I think we don't really need a class for that. I mean, by practice, I can overcome that as well. What
Yeah,
do
I
you
mean,
think?
you're not the only one, so that is your opinion. We can talk about this. I mean, we could talk about it now. We could talk about it later, during like on our WhatsApp group. So, right now, see, the problem over here is, right, you need help with speaking, but your
Yes.
speaking is not counted towards your letter grade. It will show up on your certificate as a number grade, right? Not as a letter grade. So it's like there but not there kind of thing. And then the writing part does contribute to your letter grade, right?
Yeah.
So which one do you want to for like, obviously I want to focus on both, but your speaking exam is closing in,
Oh my gosh, yes, it is.
right? And so that is why what you guys can do is obviously, right, follow the advice I've given you so far, practice on your own, right? Whatever we do in class is obviously very limited. All right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So yeah, so we can decide on like it needs to be a consensus, right? So we can decide in class whether you want to continue with writing practice or not. If you guys do it properly, we can. The last review for writing work took longer for some reason, but normally I think we should be able to cover that in a single class. So I think we can still continue with that. That is my opinion.
Also, sir, yeah, I was also thinking about this that from now on, or like whenever you will assign us to do any writing task, can I do it on my copy? Although you wouldn't be able to edit it, but since you know the writing
Yes,
speed also matters, my
yes.
typing speed is faster than writing speed. So,
Yeah, so I don't know if I mentioned this in an earlier class. I did, I hope I suggested, I tend to do that, that you do your work twice. And that means you
two,
initially, yeah, you do it twice. And that means that you initially do it in writing physically, because that your paper is will ask you to write it on paper, right? Physically on paper with a pen. And so you need to be in practice of doing that within the required time limit. And once you're done with that and you're like, okay, fine, this is my answer, then you have your answer in front of you and just you look at that, type it out, and submit your response. The reason I'm still ask
oh,
yeah, the reason I'm still asking you to type out your response for me is, as you know very well, right? It's easier to
yeah,
check. It's easier to check,
yes.
right? So it won't be like exactly double the effort, but right, yes, do it on your copy first, and then if you can type it out, so that would be better. Now we need to get back to the speaking. So, right, I'm still sharing my screen. Okay. So, right, I mean, what do I say? Right, you were taken over by panic, and you pretty much jumbled it all up. So, I mean, I don't even have like suggestions to offer to you at this point for this, like, because
There wasn't even a response, sir. What
yeah,
would you
yeah. I mean,
suggest?
I don't want to be harsh by saying that, but as like, if you're
No, I
saying,
got it.
if you realize that, that's good. I like that wasn't much of a response. So yeah,
I got it.
yeah. So all right, I'm going to move on to the next part. Yeah, and so whatever
Yes.
anxieties you're feeling, you need to work on those, because obviously we don't want any of that happening during the exam.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing with you, starting the timer again. All right, Anne. Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions related to the topic that you've just talked about. This part of the test will last for approximately 3 minutes. Before we start, do you have any questions?
No, sir. Please.
Okay. Do you think it is necessary to speak the language of the country you visit?
I don't really think so. It's necessary, although it's very helpful for you in some cases. Like, for example, if you got lost from your friends or from your parents and you don't know how to communicate in their language, in the local language, then it can be a bit difficult. Although nowadays each and every country understands English and has a English and has a translator with them in every field. It's not really hard. It's not really hard. It's not really hard to live there without knowing their specific language, but it's easy. What can
Okay. Should everyone avoid traveling abroad in order to save the planet? What is your opinion?
I mean, I think it's a good idea, but again, it's not really practical because not only like airplanes are the ones which are ruining the earth. There are other factors as well. If you will control one factor like aeroplanes or for example air transport, there are other factors that may harm the earth. So I don't think so that really affects or that really saves any greenhouse gas.
Okay. Some people say that countries always benefit from tourism. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree because tourism also costs a lot of, the tickets to the country. First, you have to come to the tickets of the country, the tickets of the place, the ticket of the guider, which guides the tourist to the tourist spot and stuff. So this all costs up a huge amount, and I think it's a very huge price, and countries can definitely benefit from them. Like they don't really have to build anything to distract the tourist. It's already there naturally, and just tourists come, take selfies, and pay for your tickets and benefit you.
Okay. Now, all young people should spend time living and studying in another country. What do you think?
I actually agree with this idea because if a person, what I believe, if a person wants to, grow in their life by struggling, not by any sort of nepotism or by any connections, they should struggle. And the first step to the struggle is, I think, to get up from your comfort zone, which is obviously your parents' house. You have to get up from there, go to another country, start living from scratch, do all of your small things by yourself. Like, for example, clean your clothes by your own, clean your house by your own, manage the finance and stuff.
All right,
So I
thank you
think
for your
it's
response, Aina. Now, you see there, I just cut you off because the time for the test was over.
so
Now,
at that honestly at that time my confidence kind of boosted, so I was giving a clear response.
yeah,
But
that's fine. But again, right? So this will happen in the test if you, and you should, right? Because that's what I've recommended. You should carry on speaking until the examiner stops you,
okay,
right?
that's how he or she would stop me.
I mean, they're going like I said, they're going to be polite about it.
Okay.
They're not going to bang their fist on the table. They're not going to shout at you. They're not
Yeah,
going,
okay.
yeah. So they're not going to intimidate you. All right, they're going to be polite about it. They're going to say thank you and something along those lines. Okay. Now, again, right? You use the word guider. That is not a word. Okay. For the response to the benefit from
Oh yes,
tourism.
yes.
So the word for that is the travel guide or just guide. Okay, you said something about greenhouse gases. It was again a grammatical error. I forget what it was exactly. You are using the word clean for everything, cleaning your clothes. So you wash your clothes or you do the laundry.
Watch
You
it.
could you could say that.
Yeah, do the room.
Right, doing the laundry and cleaning the dishes or washing the dishes, cleaning your room or tidying your room. Instead of saying cleaning the room, you can tidy your room,
Timing.
right?
Yes.
Or clear up your room, for example, if it's really messy. So yeah, and right. So overall, right, once I put this uh, online, just come back and listen to it, listen to yourself, and see what you make for it. Right, if you can pick out your own mistakes.
Okay, sir.
Right. So one thing that you're like your confidence went up, your confidence went up, but right, one thing that you are generally struggling with
Sir, sorry,
is
your voice is not clear.
so right, your confidence did go up by the end. One thing that you are clearly struggling with is grammatical structure while responding.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so you need to again with whatever time we have left, you need to keep working on that. Right, make as few mistakes as possible to obviously get a better score on this. Okay, now,
All right.
right, although the actual assessment is 15 minutes max, 11 to 15 minutes, this took longer because obviously I was giving you feedback and then we sort of digressed while we took a pause in between. So it wasn't just like rapid fire because obviously the examiner will not be giving you feedback, right? He was just giving you one question after the next and one response after the next. So yeah, so right, seeing the time, we could start the next meeting if either Alvir or Afan are up for it, or we could just call it a day. I can assign you some written work and then we can come back to all of this next time. So,
It depends on these two.
well, there's silence, so I'm thinking we're going with option B.
Sir, I have to pray. Oh, same, same. I also have to pray.
Yeah, so we are going with option B then. Okay. All right, so I'll assign some written tasks for you guys. You do those, and then we'll come back to again the review of written work and more speaking the next time, inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right. All right, that's all for today.
Allah Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah.